Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. So today I wanted to talk about Home by Toni Morrison. I read it during the last Dewey 24 Hours readathon, and I mentioned that I wanted to do a special video just for that book because I really enjoyed it, and I think it's interesting. Oh my God, the light. This book, Home by Toni Morrison, very short book, and of course it talks about the notion, the concept of home, whether it's a physical building, home as in an individual notion, like who we are and what we are and what we want to be or become, and home as in the community, our family and friends and all that. So it's a very interesting topic. It's a very complex topic as well, and it's a bit funny to write about it in such a short novel. But anyway, so the story follows Frank Money. We're in Georgia, the state, in the 1950s. Frank has a sister, and he has other brother and sisters, but especially one sister, C. Isidra. I don't know how to pronounce the whole name, but we usually just call her C in the book. So they grew up together, but then a lot of things happen. But Frank goes to Korea as a soldier, and C goes on her own path as well as a working young woman. Frank comes back from the war very traumatized. He does not speak about everything that he's been through and everything that he has done or lived. So we don't know much about it until the end of the book. But he has a lot of difficulties building relationships with other people and in recreating some kind of normalcy or some kind of a routine or a life after coming back from the war. We go back and forth between the present, the past. So it's difficult sometimes to put all the pieces together, but in the end, he needs to go to Atlanta because he received an emergency call about his sister, C, who is in grave danger. And he will go to Atlanta to save her and bring her back to their native town, Lotus, which is full of awful memories as well as good ones, because it is where he had a family, where he had some kind of unit, of a sense of community and a sense of home. So this is the story of the book, and we see bits and pieces about other people as well. We see a little bit of her before and of her after, not much the during part, the in between. And we see a little bit about Lily, who is Frank's girlfriend. It's super funny because I've been rewatching all the Castle episodes. I was busting my brother's Wi-Fi thing, so I started to rewatch my Castle episodes because I had them on my laptop. And there's this Lainey character, the pathologist, and I would picture Lily in my head as Lainey. I don't know if it's because the names sound the same, or I don't know. Do you do that sometimes? Just see TV characters, and when you read the book, you see another character? I don't know. I do that all the time. So Lily, we see a little bit about her and Lenore, their stepmother thing, something. I'm a bit confused about all the supporting characters in the book. There are a lot of them, and I had difficulty with the back and forth to really follow all of that. And sometimes it seems that these stories are important, but we talk so little about them that in the end you question if it was really meaningful or if it wasn't, and what you think or what you thought would be meaningful. She doesn't talk a lot about it, and yeah. So I would have loved to know more about C's story, because she ends up working for a doctor who is into eugenism. How do you say that in English? Eugenism? Eugenistics? I'll write the proper word somewhere around on the screen. So he's into that, and she doesn't know what it is. She's just fascinated by this man who's a doctor, and who is well respected in his community and all that. And in the end, she's gonna pay the price a little bit of that innocence. So her story is very interesting, and we don't really talk about it. We don't really see that very much. So that was disappointing. And I had the feeling during for this book, I had the feeling that everything was rushed. I would have loved to just know just a tiny bit more about each character and all of their stories, and we didn't. I don't know if there was a reason why she wanted to do such a short book. You're still a bit hungry for some kind of theoretical discussion or philosophical discussion on the notion of home, and of belonging to something, to someone, and to some place. And Frank is not the most sympathetic character. I didn't feel any connection with him actually in the book. I felt a stronger connection with C. If he can't build a connection with the people around him, how could he build a connection with a person reading about him? But there are these tiny chapters, they're like letters in the book, where Frank is actually talking to the author, I guess, to Toni Morrison, and saying and challenging the author, saying, try to express this idea better than I can, or try to express these emotions or this situation. I feel like I'm going like all over the place with that review. I hope that it doesn't sound like I didn't like the book, because I did like the book. We didn't go as much into the racial thing as some of her other books. Not that it's not there, it's just not necessarily the only thing. But yeah, because I think it's very easy for her to fall back on that topic. Not that it's not an important one, but it's something that we've come to expect of her. It can be a bit predictable. So yeah. So again, Home, very predictable book for Toni Morrison. If you like Toni Morrison, I think you will enjoy this one. If you're a bit fed up, if you've liked Toni Morrison, like the first two books you've read about from her, and then you're like, okay, it's always the same thing, then don't read it. But it's very short, super easy read. I'm really into very short books these days. It says a lot about my level of laziness. Yeah, I think I'm done. Yeah, I think I'm done talking about this book. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon. I should start my reviews on my nonfiction November reads. Yeah, I should do that pretty soon. I should start on that with Death in the Congo. Yeah. So, okay, so ciao, and see you next time. I forgot to tell you. Remember I read A Whole Life by Robert C. Taylor? And I said that I wanted to read his other book, The Tobacco, something like that. I think the title is in English. So I read it, but I read it in French, and I've made a commentary, a review, but it's on my French channel. So I don't know if you can see like translated subtitles, if YouTube does that or not. But anyway, if you speak French, you can go on my other channel and give it a go. and check it out. Otherwise, I will not be doing a review here on my English channel because, I don't feel like repeating myself in another language. I don't know why. So yeah, ciao.